Hello, Starborn Rebel Tarot. Okay, so this is not going to be a zodiac or anything that I've been putting out so far. This is going to be something different. So sometimes I just feel called to put out messages or reading that I feel really connected to, or something that needs to be said or needs to come out. Tonight was one of those nights. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it is about the energy tonight. It's really heavy. It's like really heavy. And earlier I was seeing in the clouds, which I sometimes do once in a while, I'll see like what are fleets of ships in the clouds, and start feeling very connected to galactic origins. I'm sure some of you probably see this too, and at some point in time I'll take some pictures, and usually it's when I'm driving, so it's really hard because that's usually when I'm seeing the sky, you know, like the bare sky, and I can see the clouds and everything, but it's hard to take pictures, right? Because you have to like taking your phone out to take pictures while you're driving, right? I try to, and sometimes I do, and I will try. But if there's somebody, hopefully maybe there'll be somebody with me in the car to take pictures when I see it, so that I can explain it when I see it. Because when I do, it's like the sky is clear, but there's these clouds that just don't quite look real. It's like they all have a certain shape, like a certain form, and they have like, you know, a flat bottom, and it looks like they're in a formation of some sort in the sky. I don't know if y'all have ever seen this before, but I've seen it so many times. And it's like immediately I feel like, okay, galactic family, they're here, and I will talk to them. Sometimes they will show themselves in certain ways, other times not, but either way, I see it, I know they're there. And so it's like this formation of ships, and then sometimes there's usually like a mothership, like a big one that's there, and then all the smaller ones are like in formation around it. Anyway, I probably sound like I'm a crazy lunatic, but I've been seeing this for a long time. Probably even before I felt a connection to being a starseed and all of that. Anyway, so I was seeing that today, and I always, you know, talk to them when I see them, and I'm like, hey, you know what, hey, show me yourself, because I see them in the clouds, I see them in the cloud formations, I see a lot of things in the cloud formations. I've actually seen things that I've asked for when I ask for them in the clouds, and they will actually form shapes, form pictures even of people. I even asked a name, and I got literally letters that formed in the clouds for me of what their name was. So you know, I trust my intuition when it comes to that, and I hope y'all do too, because I thought I was literally insane, like, for the longest time, until I really realized that no, I am actually seeing these things, right? So, that being said, I got just a call to do a reading for the collective for, and what I'm gonna call it is Starborn. Flameborn, yes, but this is Starborn. Like, people who are really resonant with being a star seed. I am a star person. So, and there are differences in that, and at some point in time I'll explain that. But if you resonate with being someone who has lived life on other planets, which I still don't even know, you know, it's like, it's hard. It's something that I kind of still struggle with, and I'll always be honest about all of this with y'all, because I know that if I'm struggling with it, that probably other people are too, and that's the reason why I need to talk about it, because I struggle with what we've been told our entire life. I always say, if there's one thing that I know for sure, it's that everything we've been told is a lie. So finding the truth for yourself, like, for me, is so important. And I have to really rely on my discernment and my higher self, my soul, like everything that I am, to try and come to that truth, right? Because nobody can tell you. Nobody can just write it in a freaking book and tell you history. Oh, that's his story. You know, the people that got to tell the story, right? So if there's one thing that I do know, is that we don't know fucking anything. Anything that we're being told is probably not true, especially if it's coming from the mainstream media. It's coming from people who are trying to feed you this narrative for a reason, right? And anybody, I think, that is here watching this channel is somebody who will resonate with that and understand the struggle of, wow, cognitive dissonance, all the things. It's like, whenever anybody asks me, like, for truth or advice about anything, and I'm just like, okay, here we go. The first thing that you need to know is you have to let go of everything that you've ever been taught your entire life. And then you can go back, do your own research, use your mind, use your common sense, use your eyes, the things that you can see, and then find your truth. It's not going to be the same probably for everybody. Everybody's going to have a different truth, but find your truth. Because whatever you're being told, I guarantee you, it ain't the truth. So that's the first thing. To, like, just knock all that shit out that you've been taught all your life. Just get rid of it. Start over with a clean slate. So, going back to where I was when I was talking to, like, planets and everything, I'm still trying to come to grips with, is it an actual, like, place? Is it an actual like, place that we can go, a place that we can step on, another planet? Or are they just dimensions? Are they, you know, different dimensions? Because when we talk about, you know, interdimensional beings and everything, it's like, okay, well, that could be a whole nother planet. When you say extraterrestrial, it doesn't have to mean, oh, little green guys from Mars, right? This means anything beyond what we know as being terrestrial, which is of Earth. I don't think we even know, because we haven't been shown or taught, that there's so much more to our Earth than we ever could imagine. There are more lands, our history is just completely freaking distorted, right? And there's so much evidence of it everywhere. All you have to do is open your freaking eyes. And it's like, I still get mad at myself all the time for not noticing ever, like, these things that are right in front of your freaking face, right? That you look at, like these palaces, these buildings, these things that we can't recreate now. Where did these come from? And how does it fit in to, a timeline where we had, well, first were Neanderthals, really? And then, we had donkeys and horses and things to... No, we didn't create that shit. Like, somebody, something, some beings or whatever, whether it was just a past civilization, I still don't know for sure. I'm still working that out in my mind, but I know for sure that what we've been told is a lie. It's a narrative. It's a way to keep us from knowing things. It's a way to keep us in slavery, basically, which never ended if you thought it did. And they say, oh, well, why is that important? Who cares if the earth is flat or the earth is round, or, who cares what happened, so many hundreds of years ago? It's really easy to say, right? For somebody who doesn't want you to know your history or where you came from or why they've been hiding it from you, right? Because they have. And it's freaking hidden in plain sight everywhere if you know where to look. And if you're a Flameborn, you freaking know. You know the places, and you know where we're called to. You know where we're supposed to go. You know where the energetic places are, the ley lines are. That's where they don't want us to go. So what would be the first place where it would be blocked off for us to go? The places where we might actually, see things, remember things from our true history. I just want y'all to take a minute. Just take a beat. Maybe you think I'm crazy, whatever. I don't care. But if you were drawn here, I'm a truth seeker. Seek the truth. I want to know where I came from. I want people to quit lying to me about what this whole place is. And then there's that whole other question of, is it just an illusion? Are we just in a game? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like that too, because it really seems like somebody has the controls over all this shit, right? That they can just make it look like whatever, do whatever. So somebody has the controls over it. But I think that lately they're getting really, really scared because we're waking up. And there's a lot of people, and I feel you. That's why I'm here. I would have never done this before. Oh my God. Like, it's not who I normally am, but because I'm like so passionate about this, I'm putting my face out here, middle of the night, whatever, no makeup, my hair's jacked. I don't give a shit. Because I know that there's people out there that need to hear this. and maybe need to wake up and see the illusion, see the Matrix, realize that that movie is pretty much a documentary. I'm not sure exactly how they're doing it. I don't know if we're all hooked up to tubes and whatnot, but it is a form of that. It is a matrix. It is an illusion, and people, freaking thank God, are finally starting to wake up, right? I'm always willing. In the beginning, I tried with everybody, and I wasted my breath for so many hours just trying to plant a seed or, you know, help people to see, like, you are being lied to. You're being lied to. Can you not see this? And like, it's so frustrating. So sometimes you just have to like take a step back. I'm like, okay, I'm a light worker. You guys probably are light workers too. So you have like that same frustration. Like, you know, you have this ability and this power, like, to help people see and to heal, and you have this higher vibration, this higher knowing, like something that you know you're here to do something, right? And it can be so frustrating sometimes when people are just so blind. And it took me a long time to realize, like, that's not my fault. All I can do is plant a seed. And if somebody asks me, like, if somebody ever still, like, I don't go out of my way anymore. When I first was waking up and it was all like, you know, it was all like new, and I was like, I gotta tell everybody about all the things, right? But after a while, it's like, okay, no, I'm not gonna do that. I can't waste all my energy on this anymore. But if somebody comes to me and asks me, I am like more than willing to spend whatever time. Like, if they're really, really interested in finding their truth and realizing the illusion of this 3D world, like, I am here for you no matter what, because I've been doing this for a long time. And the hardest thing I think is when you have to admit to yourself that you've been fooled, you've been duped, you've been stupid, and you've just been not paying attention to things that were so important. I did that for a long time. I'm 49 years old, and I just started really waking up to all this stuff maybe 8 years ago. I've always known all my life. Always had that inner knowing that something just wasn't right. Always that I had some sort of purpose here that I wasn't seeing, or that I wasn't fulfilling, maybe. I always had that knowing, and knowing that the supernatural existed, that magic existed, that there were things that were just not being told. I always had that inner knowing, but never, like, you know, for sure. I always was just trying to, you know, blend in with the crowd and be the popular, you know, whatever. Always being a little bit different, or trying to tame myself. Like, if I was making good grades in school and everything, and I was making straight A's, and somebody else said, oh, I only made a C, blah, 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 and then I would like lie and say that I did too, or, you know, whatever, because I never wanted to make anybody feel like less than, right? And that's, I think, a lot of what we go through as light workers. We have big hearts, and our mission here is a humanitarian mission, if I could. I don't want to say that because it sounds weird or cliche or whatever, but why are we always dimming our light? Why were we doing that? It was like almost like some dark forces were a part of that, keeping us from remembering who we are, remembering our power. So I always call it back. Always call it back now. Because we have more power than anybody wants to give us credit for, right? Because we're all together, whether we like it or not. We are a collective. We are an energy. We are one. And a lot of dark forces have been trying for a long time to separate us for one reason or another, which is stupid. It's freaking stupid. No, we are all one. We are all part of God. We are all part of Gaia. We are all one when it comes to the energy, right? And it makes me so mad. Just, and then I have to remember, okay, stop being mad. But sometimes I think it's good to be a little bit mad, because it makes us work harder towards getting there. And sometimes when we look at the world and what's happening in it, and we feel like we're just falling further behind, I think that's just another trick by the dark to make us think that it's hopeless. They don't want us to have hope. They don't want us to bond together. It's the last thing in the world, because they know it would be their demise in a heartbeat if all of us realized how powerful we are together, and that we all are one. And I don't know how I got off in this tangent. It happens sometimes. It's just been the kind of night that it is, and the kind of energy that's been with me tonight. I know I was supposed to just, talk about the planets and star seeds and blah blah blah, which I will do still, because there's still like a big presence, and I've been feeling it a lot. So just wanted to go over a couple of things when I was channeling earlier, which came to me. And I guess it all started, like I was telling you, with the clouds, and sometimes I see the fleets of ships, and I just know that they're there. Yeah, they're cloaked or whatever, but I know that they're there. Like I can see this certain, formation of them and everything. And when I was coming out to, I was actually about ready to do the last 2 water signs for the zodiac. And I came out and I started channeling into the energy. And I was immediately told to look to the sky. Look to the sky. Because I've been feeling that galactic presence, right? So I looked to the sky, used my little app, thank you, iPhone, to see which stars that those were, because there was like 2 in particular that I saw like right away, and I was like, okay, I need to know which stars those are. And when I did, one of them was Cygnus and one of them was Saturn. So Cygnus represents the swan, and Saturn representing like time and structure and karmic lessons. So it almost seems like an irony or like a paradox. But when you put those two things together, it kind of tells a story a little bit. So the swan being graceful and full of grace and, you know, love, representative of that, being graceful and beautiful, and then Saturn. So it's kind of like this paradox, like this irony of two different things coming together, right? Which is kind of what I feel is symbolizing the energy of what's going on in the world right now with that. So that was kind of crazy, like that I would see those two together and like the correlation that they had to one another. When I was clearing the energy and doing the sound bowl and everything, it was like really high. Like normally I can't even make that thing sing, and tonight it was like, it was just going and going and made like really, really high sounds. So I was like, okay, I know tonight is a high energy night. And then I just kind of wanted to share with y'all some of the things I channeled. It might not make any sense. I don't know. It might, hopefully some of it makes sense to you. But here's some of the things that I channeled when I was listening underneath the stars, listening to the wind, tuning in, and this is what I hear. Gate of souls opening, freedom for many, the wind, listen, the flame rises, and my candle's been doing all kinds of crazy things tonight too. Souls coming back to Gaia, the wolf, the tree, the serpent, the phoenix. And at some point in time, I'll get into all that with you. Maybe a little later, I'll tell you a little bit more about my story and origination and everything when it comes to the wolf and the tree and that whole story. A battle, a transformation, and then I heard sirens, and then realized that it wasn't like sirens that you would normally think of sirens, you know, like the ones in the ocean and they're calling, or, you know, whatever. Not that kind of siren. It's a starborn, star people siren. A day will come for all the starborn to show themselves. Veil is cracking. Truth comes. Sirens wail. Feel the breath. All will be flame. Truth revealed. Saint Germain resides. The signature seals what binds the worlds. And then I just got a whole bunch of light language that one day I'll probably let y'all hear, but anyway. Let me see if there's anything else I got here. I think that was it as far as what I got for channeling, but I'm pretty sure that just by hearing that, if you were guided to my channel, that some of that is going to resonate with you, what I just said, and you're gonna put that into your story and what you know and what you resonate with, and realize that it's probably a lot more important and poignant to what's going on in the universe right now than you even know. So I just want you to think about it, because not too long ago there was a time that I just thought I was freaking nuts. Every day that I woke up, and every day universe kept telling me and showing me signs and sending me messages and messengers to tell me that no, I'm not crazy. I am actually getting messages from the universe. And I guess that's when I really knew that I had to share them. Because I know there's so many other people out there like me that think they're freaking nuts. But you're not. Because this is the time that we're in. We're all waking up. Starborn. I don't know which star families you have resonance with. You know, I figured most of mine out a while back. But still, who's ever to know 100%, right? But when you feel something, you feel something. Don't ever deny that. Like, don't doubt yourself. When you feel something, like, I always tell people, I'm like, there's some things, I don't know, and I'll sit here and tell you, like, I don't freaking know. I'm still trying to figure it out, right? But there's some things that I just know, and I can't tell you how I know them. I just know. And there's nobody that can come to me and tell me that I don't know that, because I just know. I don't care what you say. I just know. I have an inner knowing, and it's because I have a remembrance. I have soul memory. And I'm supposed to know this, right? And I'm sure that there's some things that you just know. So when somebody, I don't know, I came across starseed term, like, completely random, never even thought about it, never even heard about it, nothing. And it was like everything just kind of started coming to me, like, randomly. And it was like I had to start processing all this, like, why is this happening? Why do I feel like this? You know, what's going on? Why am I having this resonance, these thoughts, these, you know? And I don't know, I figured it out, and with the help of some powerful people that I knew, a couple of friends of mine, channelers, spiritual advisors that helped me before I even knew I needed help. And you know, you find the people that are supposed to be there for you and help you through this, and to kind of, they're not going to tell you all the answers, but they're going to be able to guide you along the way so that you can find your own answers, your own truth. And, you know, I know, okay, I have connections to Orion. I'm Lyran descendant. I know where I went to after I left Orion. I know, you know, like, these things I figured out, whether it was from channeling or, you know, visions or whatever, you know, happened. And then, you know, my spiritual advisor telling me things that she got. And so it was like a collaboration of, you know, just working together, using my own intuition and somebody that I trusted very much. So I would highly suggest that, like, finding somebody that you trust who has been doing these kind of things for a long time. Hopefully you'll have somebody, but if not, it's okay. You literally, you have this. you have this. All you have to do is tune in and listen, and you will know. Sometimes you're gonna have questions. We all do. We're freaking human, right? We're always gonna doubt, and excuse me. I've had to go to other people who I consider to be way further along in the journey than me to validate what I was feeling, to give me some kind of confirmation, right? Which, I'm not gonna lie, I still do. I still feel like I'm nuts sometimes. So sometimes, yeah, we need, like, especially in the beginning, we need a little bit of confirmation. Like, we need a little bit of like, okay, yeah, you're not nuts. Like, keep going, keep doing the work. And I think that's really important. But that being said, you don't absolutely have to have it. If there's nobody around you that you can think of who can be supportive of you, well, hey, I'm here. If you need to message me or whatever, I'm here for you. But usually everybody has at least one person, right, that they can go to. If you don't, I'm here, y'all. I'm happy to share in my experiences with you. But there's usually always somebody that you can bounce this stuff off of and realize, like, oh, I'm not the only one going through, I'm not the only one seeing these things. I'm not the only one having these revelations and epiphanies and seeing these things, or even seeing these beings, seeing these ships, like the things that you're seeing that might make you think that you're crazy because you're not fitting in with the narrative, right? Fuck the narrative. Fuck that shit. Sorry, excuse my French, but fuck that shit. No, we know it's not right. We know that we're being fed a bunch of bullshit. So why don't we unite, figure it out together? Because we are so powerful together. We are so afraid of that. So afraid of all of us waking up together. They can't fight that. They have no power against that. But if we keep pitting against each other, like, oh, you're brown, you're white, you're short, you're tall, who fucking cares? We're all God, we're all Gaia, we're all energy. What happens when you put energy together? It makes a lot of energy, right? Am I wrong? I mean, that's just rudimentary, because I'm no astrophysicist. I am not no. But I do know that when you combine a lot of energy together, it makes a lot of power, right? So why do you think they want to divide us? The powers that be. Because they know that. Why do they want to, reduce the population? I don't know. Just planting a seed. Go look into it. Anyway, this is a starseed reading, which I just decided today, I think I'm gonna call Starborn Rebel. And we're gonna do we'll just do a few cards, see what happens, right? So I'm going to use Starseed Tarot. Or Oracle, or whatever. But maybe we can get just a little bit of insights past my crazy channeling right now. I just know where I was a few years ago, and it was like, it was hard. It's like a very kind of lonely feeling there for a little bit, of thinking that I was like the only one and all the things. Just a little behind the scenes. This channel, at first, the first name that I came up for it was Truth Seeker. All right, let's get one more. Now, here we go. All right, my star family, star cousins, star sisters, breath of the cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. Breath of the cosmos. Which I don't think of micromanaging as actually a good term, but when it comes to this, I'm just seeing, remembering your power, speaking things into existence. That's how God created the universe. All of them. He spoke it into existence. You see what's coming out of her mouth? She's speaking something into existence. It's all about frequency and vibration. Everything has it. Inanimate, living, everything. Every single thing has a frequency, a vibration. And it looks like she knows that. She gets it. She's speaking it out. She's creating something in the sky, using her breath to create planets, to create universes. She's a creator. We're all creators. We've been robbed of our power. And when people say that's sacrilegious, remember what the Bible says, what Jesus said, that you will do even greater things than me, because he knew. He's an ascended master, but he's telling you right there, literally in the Bible, you will do greater works than I. I'm not sure exactly how he said it, and I apologize. I wish I had a Bible here with me, but that's the gist of it. That we can even do greater things than him. That we have the power. That we are God. We are one with God. We're created in his image. Call back your power, people. It's been taken away from us for so long. Yeah, they've been micromanaging the universe. That's where the fucking negative shit is coming from. The wrong energy has been micromanaging the universe. That's our birthright. Not those. All right. Fall into my arms. So, the last one is about power. It's about taking your power back, remembering who you are. But also, this is what comes afterwards, because you need to remember your humility. And Jesus also taught this. Fall into my arms. Surrender. Holding the opposites, extremes of life. Remember, life is always going to have its ups and downs, just the way it goes. Because we have to learn things, we have to learn lessons, but we also are not created to be sad. We're not created, like, we're not supposed to be sad and depressed and just working all the time for nothing. Like, we're supposed to be happy. And that's what they're saying right now. The divine, God, universe, whatever you call it, Jesus, I don't care. The angels, fall into my arms. Have faith in me. Have faith in yourself. Surrender. Take a breath. Have faith that everything is happening just the way it's supposed to happen. And even if you're going through hard times right now, it's not always going to be that way. There are extremes of life. You're going to go through bad times and good times. There's always going to be someone there to hold you. And the earth is going to give you this beautiful, beautiful waterfall, beautiful lights, always something beautiful to remember the freaking beauty of what we have here. What we've been given, the opportunities that we have, but we have to surrender. You have to have faith that everything's happening the way it's supposed to happen. But you can't just sit on the sidelines either and be like, yeah, well, they're not doing everything for me, so blah, blah, blah. Like, we are a part of that too, right? We have to create. We're creators. We can't just sit back and be like, yeah, you just do it for me. No. Remember your power. Remember you can create whatever you want your life to be, right? I have to remind myself of that every day because I never thought in a million years I'd be doing this. But I am, right? I'm trying to create what I'm being called to create. And if I can help even one soul out there to realize how special they are, then all of this is worth it to me. And this just kind of brings it all home. Star family. I think you're probably all my star family. But that's what I've been feeling hardcore. And they said, you need to give a message. You need to do a collective message. Star family. Go figure, right? I guess they were just giving me confirmation that I actually heard them right. You're part of a team of souls. Call in support. And there's just a blast of light coming out there. Because when we band together and when we call on the divine, we call on our star family, all of that power just gets combined together, and there's just no limit to what we can do. I truly believe that, and I will never let that go, because so many good things have been happening. Yeah, there's always bad stuff. shit's always gonna happen, right? But I see it changing for the first time in a long time. It's actually changing, and you might not think that you as one person or one soul have enough power to change things. I always thought that too. I was like, well, what am I gonna do? Might as well just go about my day, go about my business, whatever. I don't need to vote. I don't need, whatever. Because I'm not gonna make a difference. So not true. Not true. Even just one person, one soul's frequency, just residing here in this dimension, in this universe, on this planet, whatever you want to call it, is changing the trajectory of what's going to happen. And we can get into the whole time thing in another video, because I don't believe it's linear. Probably you guys don't either. So we'll talk about that in a whole nother video. So probably it's already happened and is happening, and everything's happening all at once, right? But all we can do right now, and I hope that I'm helping somebody out there to be in the now. Don't live in the past. Don't live in the future. All we have is now, and now is eternal. Now never stops, right? Which seems like the coolest place to be. It's like the place that's eternal and never stops. It's in the now. Let's live in the now, not think about the past. And what can we do to help humanity? As starseeds, you're here for a reason, right? I don't know who you resonate with. There's some, that are pretty popular. Most of us probably have Lyran roots, and if you resonate that way, Pleiadians being one of the most common, so probably almost all of us. Atlantis is another, not that that's a starseed, but there were a lot of starseeds in Atlantis. So I'm sure that a lot of you probably have ties with Atlantis, Lemuria. Y'all know that our history, that we know, that's the main point. It's like, I don't care where you resonate, whatever. What I want you to know is that what we're being told is not true. We're not being told the whole truth about where we are, where we came from, who we are. And that's what we're all trying to figure out together, right? So, I'm here for you. Still trying to figure it all out myself. I would love to hear what y'all have to say. I'm just talking to you guys like I would a friend, and come back, watch another video. Sometimes I'm called to do things like this. I'll also put out, like zodiacs and things like that, reading the cards, but sometimes it's just all about a feeling, or all about something that I channeled or something that I saw, and we'll talk about it, and I would love to hear what y'all have to say. So give us a like and a subscribe if you feel called. Okay, we'll talk to you soon. Starborn.